For decades, Boeing and Airbus have defined the global aviation landscape, their names synonymous with innovation, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of flight. These two giants have not only built the planes that connect continents, but have also shaped the very way we think about air travel, safety, and the future of transportation. Their rivalry has been the engine driving progress, pushing each to outdo the other in technology, efficiency, and passenger comfort. Every new aircraft launch, every major airline order has been a move in a high-stakes chess game that has captivated the world. Boeing, once the undisputed leader and a symbol of American industrial might, is now facing its greatest challenge as momentum shifts toward Airbus. The tables are turning and the consequences are being felt across the industry. Major airlines like KLM, Qantas, and even Emirates, longtime Boeing customers, are placing landmark orders with Airbus, breaking long-standing traditions and signaling a dramatic change in loyalty. This isn't just a temporary setback for Boeing, it's a fundamental realignment of the industry, one that could redefine the future of commercial aviation for years to come. Airbus's relentless innovation, focus on sustainability, and reputation for reliability have made it the preferred choice for many airlines, especially as Boeing grapples with controversy and public scrutiny. The decisions of these flagship carriers send shockwaves through the industry, influencing suppliers, investors, and even government policy, and signaling a new era in aviation. Years of mounting pressure, high-profile incidents, and missteps have eroded confidence in Boeing, creating deep uncertainty for its workforce and partners around the globe. The challenge for Boeing is no longer just about building planes, but about rebuilding trust with airlines, regulators, and the flying public. It must overhaul its processes, invest in safety and transparency, and prove to the world it has learned from its mistakes if it hopes to reclaim its place at the top. The battle for the skies has entered a critical phase, with the outcome set to shape not just the future of these two companies, but the very nature of global travel for decades to come. The balance of power is shifting, and the turbulence is being felt far beyond the factory floors, reaching into boardrooms, government offices, and the lives of millions who depend on air travel. As the world watches, the next chapter in aviation supremacy is being written. The stakes have never been higher, and the outcome will determine who leads the skies for generations to come. Boeing's troubles began with the devastating 737 MAX crashes, which sent shockwaves through the aviation industry and left families and communities around the world grieving. The incidents not only resulted in tragic loss of life, but also marked a turning point for one of America's most iconic companies. The crashes shattered Boeing's hard-earned reputation for safety, a reputation built over decades of engineering excellence and reliability. Passengers, once confident in the Boeing name, began to question whether they could trust the planes they boarded. The worldwide grounding of the MAX fleet exposed not just technical flaws, but also deep-rooted issues within Boeing's corporate culture. Many began to wonder if the relentless pursuit of profit and market dominance had come at the expense of safety and transparency. Quality control issues, misdrilled holes, faulty components, and overlooked safety checks have kept Boeing under relentless scrutiny. Each new report of a defect or oversight has further eroded public trust and investor confidence. Airlines once fiercely loyal to Boeing are now wary. Their confidence has been shaken by a steady stream of negative headlines and ongoing uncertainty about the safety of Boeing's aircraft. The fictional Air India 787 crash in 2025 only deepened the crisis, casting doubt on Boeing's entire product line and raising questions about the company's ability to prevent future tragedies. The FAA, long criticized for being too lenient and close to the industry it regulates, is now imposing stricter oversight. This increased scrutiny has slowed production lines, frustrated airline customers, and put additional pressure on Boeing's leadership. Trust between Boeing, regulators, and airlines has been severely damaged. Repairing these relationships will require not just words, but meaningful action, and a renewed commitment to safety. Boeing's century-old legacy of safety and innovation, once a source of national pride, is now in question. The company's storied history is being re-examined in light of recent failures. The company faces a fight, not just for market share, but for its very identity. Its future depends on whether it can restore faith among customers, regulators, and the flying public. Boeing must reform its internal culture, overhaul its production processes, and prove beyond doubt that its aircraft are safe. Only then can it hope to regain its place as a leader in aviation. Until that happens, Rivals like Airbus will continue to capitalize on Boeing's struggles, winning over customers, and expanding their own influence in the global market. The future of Boeing's legacy hangs in the balance, as the world watches to see if this aviation giant can rise above its darkest chapter and reclaim its place in history. The 2025 Paris Air Show starkly revealed the changing fortunes of Boeing and Airbus. Airbus dominated, announcing a wave of major orders and projecting confidence and stability. Boeing, in contrast, scaled back its presence, overshadowed by safety concerns and recent tragedies. With no major deals, Boeing was sidelined as Airbus secured 142 firm orders from global carriers. Even Embraer outshone Boeing, highlighting a dynamic market from which Boeing seemed absent. For airline executives, the contrast was clear. Airbus was shaping the future, while Boeing struggled with its past. The deals made at Le Bourget will define airline fleets for years, and in 2025, the future looked European. The psychological victory for Airbus was as significant as the sales themselves. President Trump's America First agenda has made Boeing a symbol of national pride and a target for protectionist policies. New tariffs were meant to shield Boeing, but with its global supply chain, the company is now more vulnerable to retaliation than Airbus. Foreign governments can respond with their own tariffs, making Boeing jets less attractive abroad. This strategy risks undermining Boeing's competitiveness, potentially driving more customers to Airbus. Trump's public pressure on airlines to buy American turns every aircraft deal into a political statement. While this approach may win some orders, it also risks alienating partners who value performance over politics. The high-stakes defense of Boeing could easily backfire, further isolating the company globally. Under Trump, aircraft deals have become powerful diplomatic tools, signaling geopolitical alliances. The US-Morocco relationship is a prime example, with a major Boeing order tied to American support for Morocco's Western Sahara claims. Yet, Morocco hedges its bets, negotiating with Airbus to maintain ties with France. Nations use aircraft orders to balance global relationships, playing both sides for maximum advantage. This politicization creates volatility. Deals can be made or broken with shifting diplomatic winds. Boeing's fortunes are now as much about politics as performance. Boeing's crisis sends shockwaves through the American economy, affecting not just the company itself, but thousands of suppliers and workers nationwide. The company's vast network stretches across all 50 states, meaning that when Boeing stumbles, the effects are felt in small towns and big cities alike. From machinists on the factory floor to engineers designing the next generation of aircraft, livelihoods hang in the balance. A slowdown in Boeing's production means job losses and reduced business for countless companies, threatening entire communities. Local diners, machine shops, and family-owned suppliers all depend on the steady hum of Boeing's assembly lines. When production halts, the ripple effect can shutter businesses, erode local tax bases, and force families to relocate in search of work. The impact extends to America's trade balance. Each lost sale to Airbus is a blow to U.S. exports and influence. Boeing is one of the nation's largest exporters, and every aircraft that isn't sold abroad means fewer dollars flowing into the American economy. This loss weakens the country's position in global markets and can tip the scales in favor of foreign competitors. The aerospace sector drives innovation and research. A weakened Boeing risks ceding technological leadership to Europe and China. The company's investments in cutting-edge technology fuel advancements not just in aviation but in fields like materials, science, robotics, and clean energy. If Boeing falters, America's edge in these critical areas could slip away. The loss of market share diminishes America's standing as a global industrial power. It's not just about airplanes, it's about national pride, economic security, and the ability to shape the future of flight. The long-term risk is a critical skills gap, as fewer resources are available for R&D and talent development. When opportunities dry up, the next generation of engineers and technicians may look elsewhere, leaving a void that's hard to fill. The crisis is about more than profits. It's about the future of American industry. The choices made today will echo for decades, shaping the nation's economic landscape and its role in the world. If Boeing falters, the consequences will be felt for generations. The legacy of American manufacturing, built over a century, could be at risk. The interconnectedness of the industry means no company is an island. Every supplier, every worker, every community is linked in a vast web of collaboration and shared destiny. The stakes for American competitiveness have never been higher. What happens to Boeing will help determine whether the United States remains a leader in global industry or cedes that ground to others. For travelers, the Boeing-Airbus rivalry now directly affects the flying experience. Safety concerns have made passengers more aware of aircraft types, with some actively avoiding Boeing models. Airlines must reassure customers, even as they shift toward Airbus's popular, innovative jets. Airbus's A321XLR and A350 are opening new routes and setting new standards for comfort. A strong competitive market benefits consumers with better planes and lower fares. If Boeing can't recover, passengers may face fewer choices and less innovation. The best outcome is fierce competition, driving both manufacturers to build safer, more efficient aircraft. For Boeing's workforce, the crisis is personal, a threat to livelihoods and entire communities. Layoffs ripple through the supply chain, impacting thousands beyond Boeing's own factories. Morale suffers as workers face pressure to deliver quality under intense scrutiny. The industry's instability makes it harder to attract new talent, risking a future skills gap. Protecting these jobs is about more than paychecks. It's about preserving America's aerospace expertise. The next generation may look elsewhere if the industry can't restore stability. The future of American aviation depends on retaining and empowering its skilled workforce. Boeing stands at a crossroads, its future uncertain but not without hope. The company must make safety and quality its top priorities, demanding a cultural transformation. Empowering engineers and mechanics and welcoming stricter oversight are essential steps. Rushing production led to past failures. Now, delivering safe, reliable aircraft must come first. Boeing's next all-new aircraft will be the ultimate test of its ability to innovate and regain trust. Success will require humility, transparency, and relentless focus on engineering excellence. The company's actions now will define its legacy for the 21st century. The future of American aviation depends on Boeing's ability to lead once again. Redemption is possible, but only through real change. The world is watching to see if Boeing can reclaim its place in the skies.